Odysseus, the king of Ithaca, was one of the famous Greek heroes who fought in the 10-year Trojan War to free Helen of Troy. After the fall of Troy, he and his warriors set out on a journey back home to Ithaca, facing numerous challenges and adventures along the way. Odysseus and his warriors initially arrived in Cyclops territory, where they plundered the city of Ismarus. The Greeks, however, stayed and were overpowered by the Cyclops, who counterattacked, resulting in terrible losses for Odysseus's crew. The Lotus Eater's domain was the next destination. After eating the lotus fruit, some of Odysseus's troops lost all desire to return home, since it contained a potent sedative that put them to sleep. Odysseus had to awaken them and drag them back to the ship. Odysseus and his men then reached the island of the Cyclops. They needed supplies and spotted a shepherd's cave in the distance. Next to the cave, they found food with which they helped themselves after their tiring journey. A massive Cyclops arrived, much to their horror. The son of Poseidon was Cyclops. Polyphemus seals them inside and begins devouring Odysseus's warriors, before sealing the cave with a large boulder. Odysseus uses a cunning technique to blind Polyphemus by providing him with wine and making him drowsy. Cyclops wanted to thank Odysseus for his delicious wine and asked about who he was. "My name is Nobody," he replied. He started sharpening a wooden stake and plunged the stake into his eye, making him blind. Polyphemus, in intense pain, screamed and called for help. The next morning, Polyphemus, still blinded, opened the cave to let his flock of sheep out to graze. Odysseus and his men, who had previously tied themselves to the undersides of the sheep, remained hidden as the animals left the cave. As the sheep moved out of the cave, Odysseus and his men, still attached to the undersides of the animals, managed to escape without being noticed by Polyphemus. Once outside, they separated themselves from the sheep and made their way back to their ship. As Odysseus and his crew sailed away, the victorious hero couldn't resist revealing his true identity to Polyphemus. This act of hubris, telling the Cyclops who had blinded him, would later contribute to the wrath of the sea god Poseidon, who was Polyphemus's father. This escape from the cave of the Cyclops is an important and memorable chapter in Odysseus's trip, demonstrating his ingenuity and skill in overcoming seemingly insurmountable hurdles. However, it also signals the beginning of the difficulties he would encounter as a result of the Cyclops curse and the god Poseidon's anger on his return voyage to Ithaca. Odysseus and his crew, seeking a way back home to Ithaca after their adventures in Troy, arrive at the island of Aeolus, the god and master of the winds. Aeolus welcomes them hospitably and hosts them for a month. As a parting gift, Aeolus helps Odysseus by providing a leather bag containing all the winds except the west wind. This special gift was intended to expedite Odysseus's journey by preventing unfavorable winds. Odysseus, fatigued from his long voyage, falls asleep as Ithaca appears on the horizon. The interested crew members open the bag, assuming it to be a gift from Odysseus, believing it to contain significant wealth. Unbeknownst to them, the winds have escaped from the bag and created a storm that pushes the ship off course, wiping out all of their efforts. Odysseus and his men depart Aeolus Island once more, disheartened and dissatisfied. Before they leave, Aeolus cautions Odysseus that the gods must be against him if he is experiencing such calamity. Odysseus and his fleet faced a perilous encounter with the Laestrygonians, a race of hostile giants. Upon unwittingly entering their territory, the giants attacked with massive boulders, sinking the majority of Odysseus's ships. Only one ship carrying Odysseus and a small crew managed to escape the onslaught. The fierce assault resulted in a significant loss for Odysseus, leaving his crew traumatized and underscoring the relentless challenges he faced on his tumultuous journey back to Ithaca in Homer's The Odyssey. Odysseus is faced with an enthralling yet deadly quest. On his way back to Ithaca, Odysseus encounters yet another terrible hurdle. Odysseus devises a strategy to avoid the danger after being warned by the sorceress Circe about the seductive appeal of the siren's voice. He instructs his troops to put beeswax in their ears, putting them immune to the seductive song. Odysseus, inquisitive but safely chained to the mast of his ship, instructs his crew to steer straight into the treacherous seas in order to experience the siren's music for himself. This permits him to satisfy his curiosity while avoiding the deadly temptation. In Thrinacia, the island of the sun god, Helios, Odysseus's men disobeyed orders, slaughtered the sacred cattle of the god, and incurred the wrath of Zeus, leading to the destruction of their ship and the drowning of all but Odysseus. Odysseus, the sole survivor, clung to the wreckage and eventually washed ashore on the island of Ogygia. There, he encountered the nymph Calypso, who detained him on her island for 7 years, despite his yearning to return home to Ithaca. This marked another challenging phase in Odysseus' journey before he received divine intervention and guidance to continue his odyssey. Moved by his persistent desire to reunite with his family, the goddess Athena intervened, pleading with Zeus to secure Odysseus' release. At Athena's request, Zeus orders Hermes to deliver orders to Calypso, stating that the exile must return. Zeus even makes Calypso help Odysseus construct a raft to sail home. Upon returning to Ithaca, Odysseus found his palace besieged by suitors vying for Penelope's hand. Disguised as a beggar, he observed their behavior, revealing his true identity through a contest involving his great bow, a task only he could accomplish. With the help of Telemachus and loyal servants, Odysseus triumphed, defeating the suitors and restoring order to his home. Odysseus's epic adventure concludes with him not only navigating the perilous waters, confronting mythological animals, and overcoming heavenly trials, but also returning to Ithaca to regain his country and reconnect with his family. The trip exemplifies the human spirit's tenacity in the face of hardship, highlighting Odysseus' wisdom, fortitude, and ingenuity. Aside from physical dangers, the story covers themes of loyalty, resilience, and the enduring relationships of family. The Odyssey of Odysseus is a timeless monument to the victory of cleverness and tenacity in the face of apparently insurmountable difficulties. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it and found it helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest content.